Where did I get the idea for the empathy cards? We looked back over 10 years of work, and we looked at what we had been doing, and we asked ourselves, what's the theme? What's the through line? What's the thing that we've been doing unconsciously, actually? Where's the thing that's been under the surface? And we realized a lot of our best work was not going in a room and shutting the door and saying, wouldn't it be cool if? It was going outside of that door, outside of that building, going out into the world and talking with people and understanding what they wanted from the brand we were trying to solve a problem for, and picking up that perspective and then bringing it into the work we were going to do, and then go in the room and shut the door and say, wouldn't it be cool if, but have some context for it. And so we really declared that as a major. We said, we're going to stand for applying empathy. And so one tool we thought would be valuable was to create these cards, a way to ask questions that would be really tough to just unto yourself ask someone, because they accelerate into such a deep place so quickly. And sometimes if you're like at a cocktail party, or you're in a meeting with a client, like you can't ask that deep stuff because it makes people uncomfortable. And sometimes you can, but like there are instances where that doesn't fly too well. And so we made the cards as a permission granting tool, because I didn't ask you to tell me your deepest, darkest secret. The card did. And so all of a sudden, like, now we can have a different type of conversation because we've got this intermediary in a question that's been written down. And so we use these as facilitation tools. And actually, we've been getting notes. Like I said, we only launched them a couple weeks ago. We've been getting notes that teachers are already using them in their classrooms, which is amazing. They're using them in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade out in Cincinnati. There was a woman who bought them and is using them there. There's, West Point just bought 50 of them and are giving them to all the team captains on all of their athletic teams, because they want those team captains to be better coaches and leaders for their fellow colleagues. So we're seeing it kind of happen in a lot of different ways. So what are we looking for from team, and what do we expect of them? When I do the interview process myself, which is fewer and further between these days, though I still love it, what I'm looking for is someone who knows themselves. Like, skills are table stakes, right? Like, you're all smart people. You all know what you do well. If you're coming in for an interview, you've probably passed that test already. Someone screened you for that, right? So I don't care so much about like your proficiency in a certain thing. What I care about is, do you know yourself? Do you know your strengths? Do you know your weaknesses? Are you confident? Are you speaking like you actually love what you do? And those are unteachables, right? You either do or you don't, right? That's just the nature of getting close to yourself. And I think that's where my radar is always kind of switched on when I meet people, because those are the people that we want to be around. And what's an interesting thing about the team is, over the years, the culture has become such that this is an industry, as many of you I'm sure know, like, has high turnover. Its average is 18 months, and people are gonna leave, right? I always imagine it. I'm sort of like the thing staying still in a time lapse, because people are coming in and out of this like fast-paced environment over time. But I've been the steady state, right? I've been there since the beginning. And one thing that I think has been amazing once we kind of started making hiring decisions along those lines, kind of checking people's guts more so than checking their books, was that people don't leave as disgruntled employees. People don't leave as people who want to sort of just like go get the next gig. They leave as alumni. And actually, like, in scanning this crowd, there are several people here who are former Sub Rosa people who I see in the room. And yep. And thank you guys for coming. You too. That was exactly your two personalities, by the way. Laurel didn't say anything, and Rima shouted. And both of them, like, it's amazing to see you guys. And for me, that's ultimately what we've tried to build. Why are my parents great? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was. But I'll restate. What have my parents done to help me grow into a more brave or powerful person? My dad is an entrepreneur. He runs a family business that my grandfather started. It's a very unglamorous business. It's like a home heating and fuel business, right? And my mom is a developmental social worker in grade schools, right? So I think I have a little bit of both of that when you look at that Venn diagram, for sure. But I think there's one very singular piece of advice they gave me when I was in that 2003, 2004 period, ready to kind of launch out on my own. And they said, look, you're not married. You don't have a mortgage. You don't have the responsibilities that you will inevitably have. Now's your time to fail. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Just go do it. And like, be unafraid. Like, there's a roof over your head. There's food in the refrigerator. You have our love and support. Try to figure it out. And if you don't, you'll get a job. And like, it was just like that. Like, it seemed so heavy at the time. And then they were like, just fucking relax, Michael. I'm just like, it's all going to work out. And so, you know, I mean, that's not like some big, like from on high kind of like sage wisdom, but it actually is. It was just like the permission to fail and to know that like I wasn't going to let someone down if I did, including myself. Thank you.